I didn't want to be a rock star, and I didn't want to be a movie star. No pictures, please. I want to be a health-based culinary expert, a cook star, and so can you. Hi, my name is Remmi, and today on Cook Time, we're going to prep and cook one of my favorite dishes called beet salad with apples. Okay, first things first. The number one rule on Cook Time with Remmi is that you always check with a parent or an adult before you start cooking. Next, it's very important to wash your hands before cooking any food. Okay, let's get started. Today, we're making beet salad with apples. I love beets. They taste good and they're really good for you too. The next thing we need to do is grab our cooking pots, pans, and bowls. So, here's my pan. We'll also need to have the ingredients used to make this yummy salad. So, for this dish, we'll need parsley, apple, onion, parmigiano, beets, romaine, white vinegar, some light oil, and of course, some salt and pepper. Did you know that a true Australian hamburger has at least 2 slices of beet? So the first thing you want to do is wash and trim your beets, which is what I've already done. And you want to keep your beet leaves because they're really, really healthy for you. But I'm not going to use them today, but you should still keep them. The next thing we want to do is put some olive oil onto our beets here. Get them ready for the oven. Just drizzle some on there. There we go, nice and crispy. And then we're gonna have some salt and some pepper. And an interesting fact about beets is that they're full of all kinds of vitamins and minerals, like magnesium, potassium, phosphorus, vitamins A, B, and C, beta-carotene, and folic acid. Wow, that means they're really healthy for you. Now we're gonna wrap our beets up, and then we're gonna put them in the oven at 375 for about 45 minutes. It's been about 45 minutes. I prepared my beets by cutting them up, and now we're ready to make the salad. So the first thing we're gonna do is add our romaine lettuce onto our plate here. Romaine is one of my favorite lettuces because it's so crunchy. Next up we have our beets, and I'm using tongs here so that way I don't get this dye everywhere. In the 19th century, beet juice was actually used as hair dye in Victorian England. Not really sure who would want some purple hair, but it seems pretty cool to me. Get some more beets in the middle there. Next up, we have our apples, which of course adds some really nice crunch in there and some good sweetness. Just put those on top, sort of. Oops, got them going all around. Then we have some onion. Nice little slices here, thin. See if I can separate this. There you go. Yep, I like getting messy in the kitchen. It's one of my fortes. Then we have some salt and some pepper. Next up, we have our dressing. So we just have our white vinegar and some light oil and mix that up. Really simple dressing. And remember, you should always add your dressing or sauce right before you serve it. So that way you don't have a soggy salad. Now we're just going to drizzle this over there. There you go. And then to garnish, we have some parsley for freshness. And then some Parmesan cheese. All that on there. And then you have your beet salad with apples. When you're cooking, it's always very important to make sure your ingredients measurements are right. The ingredients should also be as fresh as possible so your food tastes the best. Remember the cook time rule. You should always include all 5 food groups whenever making each meal. Cooking is fun, and the food you make should taste good and be healthy for you. Now for my favorite part, the taste test. Beets have such a really sort of subtle flavor, but it works so well with the apples in this dish. I mean, it's like amazing, really. And beets are really sort of those kind of vegetables that kids sort of stray away from because they're like, oh, they don't look that well sometimes, but like they taste delicious. All kids should lead a healthy, active, and nutritious life. And we all play a role educating young people about healthy choices, including the 16 million children at risk of hunger in the US. Join me, Sodexo, and our partners Share Our Strength to help raise awareness about the 1 in 5 kids at risk of hunger by joining the movement of Generation No Kid Hungry. Thank you for hanging out with me on Cook Time with Remmi. See you next time when we'll be making tomato mozzarella salad featuring celery. So now what we're gonna do is we're gonna add some, no we're not gonna do that yet. We're gonna do this first. Okay, sorry. Sometimes I wish I could make pizza dough and do that cool thing. Okay.